Answers from as far as the eye can see to as close as the ground you're spinning on. From science and literature to history, math, and beyond. This is Academically.
Welcome to more Academic League action here on ITV. I'm Clark Anthony. Good to have you with us. We are featuring two teams from the Metro League in this particular match. Teams from right in the city of San Diego, Cathedral High School and La Jolla High School. We'll meet the coaches and introduce the players, and then the questions will start flying. Dan, step over here, will you? And hunker down just a little so I can talk and reach. No, I'm just teasing. Dan Toms is the coach for Cathedral High School. He is a UCSD graduate. He's been teaching math for 9 years and came to Cathedral from Northern California in 2014. In addition to math, Dan likes crosswords, basketball, and golf. How's the team doing so far this year, Dan?
Oh, we're doing okay, doing a lot of personal growing this year, kind of working on improvement in areas here or there. But overall, I kind of like the things we're putting together.
That's one of the things we notice over the years is the ebb and flow of different ages. Some of the greatest players in the world graduate and go on to other things, and then you have to do a little bit of team building along the way. Do you have a pretty good turnout for academically?
So this year we are in one of our lower years, but we normally get a pretty good turnout, and so we'll turn that back around next year, yeah.
And these students get a pretty good workout, right?
Indeed, yeah.
Would you introduce them left to right for us, please?
Sure. Up first we have Sinead. She is a 10th grader. Some of her interests include biology, chemistry, and math. She's also really involved in our Dawns for Life club there at Cathedral. She also runs cross country and track, and she's pretty interested in neuroscience and biology, maybe in the future. Next to her we have Michaela, an 11th grader. Michaela I've actually known since she was in 8th grade, and she's been helping with her older sister as well. She's really into math, physics, and the STEM subjects. I'm involved in our robotics team and also mock trial. She might want to major in mechanical engineering or become a Disney Imagineer. In the middle, next to her, we have Luke, a senior, our captain. He's been with me for 4 years now. I'm really into Spanish, art, and English, but in addition to those things, he's actually really involved in our robotics club as well, and the gardening club. Right now, he's really interested in maybe something in marine or conservation biology. Next to him, we have Daniel, another senior, who I've known for 3 years. His main interests include chemistry and physics. He actually likes to build and fly drones in some of his spare time, and so naturally, he might hope to be in the engineering field somewhere down the line. And then finally, at the far end, we have Ryan Shakiba. He's been with me for 2 years now. His interests include things like math, history, and chemistry. He also does tennis and karate when he's not helping us out here on the academic league team, and he might want to do something involved in either politics or physics, very similar subjects down the way.
Sounds like a good group. Good luck to you and the team.
Thank you.
Take your spot over there. Aaron, come on over here. Aaron Quisnell is the longtime coach at La Jolla High School. Aaron earned his BS degree in biology at San Diego State, and he teaches principles of biomedical science and human body systems, and also coaches boys and girls golf in addition to academically, which you've been at for about 13 years now. Time flies, right?
It does. It's been a great time.
One of the things, you did really well last year, and I remember you had a lot of students graduating. It was just what I was talking to Dan about. You get to the point where then you start with younger students, and they have to follow and fill those shoes, right?
Yeah, we lost a lot of seniors, which generally is kind of tough, but we had a bunch of good guys that came up playing JV together, so they work really well, and they've been doing great so far this year.
And your season is doing well, right?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate to be on the winning end of most.
Okay, good. Introduce your starting lineup from left to right, please.
We'll start with David Llewellyn Smith. He's a junior. We are all underclassmen. His favorite subject is history. He enjoys reading, playing video games, playing board games with friends. He also plays tennis for the school as well. To his left is Richard Chow. Richard's favorite subjects, Richard is a junior. His favorite subjects are physics and sports.
Don't be sorry.
He's involved with the Robotics Science Olympiad, and he works with UTouch. And in addition to that, he plays golf on the school team, which is also coached by me. He, in the future, plans to work in business. To his left is our captain, Kevin Park, also a junior. His favorite subject is music. He's played the flute for 8 years. To his left is his brother, Andrew, our sophomore. His favorite subjects are math, history, and music. In addition to academically, he's on the math team, the San Diego Youth Symphony, and he works with robotics. In the future, he'd like to work in the sports management field. And finally, to his left, we have Caleb Cruz, also a junior. His favorite subjects are art, history, and Latin. He also is on the track team this year and really enjoys art history.
All right. Good luck to you and the team.
Thank you.
Take your spot over there. Let's introduce our moderator, who's also been at this for just a few years, I think. Mark Hines is with us again, as so often. He is the San Diego City Schools Academic League Commissioner. He teaches world history at Muirlands Middle School in La Jolla, and he has been both a city and county teacher of the year and received many other well-deserved honors as well. Mark, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Clark. We'll start the clock at 30 minutes and begin with the first toss-up for either team. The concert for his 80th birthday included songs Too Many Mornings from his show Follies, A Little Priest from Sweeney Todd, and The Glorious Life from A Little Night Music. Named this Broadway composer of Sunday in the Park with George and lyricist for the musical. Right away we go to Cathedral.
Stephen Sondheim.
Yes. For your bonus, name these top athletes of recent years. First, after leaving Harvard, this Asian American played with the New York Knicks and 5 other NBA teams before winning a title with Toronto. For the current season, he plays with China's Beijing Ducks.
Anyone know? We don't have a hyphen.
Yeah, no answer.
We have our answer, Yao Ming.
No, I'm sorry, Jeremy Lin would have been that one.
Cool.
Next one, this fiancé of Olympic skater Lindsey Vonn is a star defenseman for the New Jersey Devils.
Fiance of Lindsey Vonn. I have no idea.
Nope.
No answer.
That's okay, P.K. Subban. He is now in the front office of the Seattle Mariners after more than a decade playing with them following a highly successful career in Japan.
No answer.
That's okay, Ichiro Suzuki. And we go back to the toss-ups. This is a math toss-up and you may need a pencil. In lowest terms and in terms of pi, give the radius of a circle with circumference 16 inches. To La Jolla.
8 divided by pi.
Yes, good. For your bonus, language arts, these words all start with the letter M. First, adjective for a cancerous tumor that can kill you.
We have our answer malignant.
Yes. Adjective meaning very detail-oriented.
Meticulous. Yeah. We have our answer meticulous.
Yes. To ponder the universe, perhaps while doing yoga.
Meditate.
Yeah, meditation.
We have our answer meditate.
That's right. All are correct for 30 points on the bonus. Back to the toss-ups. While in the cabinet, he allowed federal agents to prosecute marijuana users in states where it was legal. His middle name comes from the Confederate general who bombed Fort Sumter, while his first name comes from the Confederate president. Played by Kate McKinnon on Saturday Night Live, what Alabama native? To La Jolla, please.
Jeff Sessions.
Yes. For your bonus, you may need a pencil again. Joanna takes her jar of quarters, dimes, and nickels to the bank. She has 13 more quarters than dimes and 13 more dimes than nickels. A bank teller counts the coins and gives her $35 in bills in return. How many of each coin were in the jar? So we'll start with quarters.
I can't do it. We have answer 50.
Oh, I'm sorry, 94. Dimes.
Okay, now,
He's 13 more. He's 13 more, so it should be 81.
Yeah.
The Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. We have answer 81.
81 is correct. Good. And nickels.
That's 68.
We have answer 68.
Yes, so 20 on the bonus. Thank you.
The first
And back
one's
to the toss-ups for either team. Animals in this phylum have no cell walls, nervous system, or organs, but do have osculum for water to escape them and cells that produce collagen. Right away to La Jolla.
Mollusks.
No, I'm sorry. Its internal skeleton contains spicules and it uses flagella to trap food. Name this ocean phylum whose members cannot physically move from one place to another. To Cathedral.
Medusa.
No, I'm sorry. Sponge would have been that answer. And we'll go to the next toss-up. Words like team, company, choir, and assembly are considered what type of noun because each represents a group of to cathedral?
Collective.
Yes. Bonus will be from Fine Arts. Answer these about current exhibitions at New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art. A. An exhibition of medieval armor honors the 500th anniversary of the death of Maximilian I, this empire's leader in the early 1500s.
Is it the Holy Roman? We have our answer, Holy Roman Empire.
That's right. An exhibit of Japanese art includes things created before 1869 when this city was Japan's capital instead of Tokyo.
Oh, Kyoto, right? What did you were going to say? Okay, we have our answer, Kyoto.
Kyoto, yes. Emile Guilleron's watercolor of an Acropolis artwork shows three bearded men all sharing the same snake-like tail. That artwork shares this name with a fairy tale nobleman who kills his wives.
Oh.
Oh, that's like Arabian Nights, something like with the. You know that?
We have our answer, Sinbad.
Bluebeard would have been that answer.
There we go.
Toss up for either team. In trigonometry, the product of this number and pi is the period of the curve y equals cosine theta. The square, and we go to La Jolla.
2.
Yes. Bonus, the 1898 Battle of Omdurman pitted Mahdi rebels against British forces outside this country's capital of Khartoum. Name this African country bordered by Egypt to the north.
We have your answer, Sudan.
Yes. This region of Sudan was the location of a 2000s genocide against its non-Arab inhabitants, perpetrated by the Sudanese government and militias.
We have your answer, Darfur.
Yes, the Sudanese town of Fashoda was the site of an 1898 border dispute between England and this country. England ended up with Egypt while this country got Morocco.
We have your answer, France.
Yes, all are correct. Toss up. The Fourth French Republic fell in 1958 during this country's War of Independence. And we go to La Jolla.
Algeria.
Yes.
Nice.
For your bonus, this Dutch actor died in 2019 after a career of playing villains in movies like Soldier of Orange. Can you name him?
Yeah. No. Just go.
We have your answer, Stefan Carlson.
Rutger Hauer. Hauer is famous for his role as Roy Batty in this sci-fi film where he says he's about to die. All those moments will be lost in time like tears in rain.
We have your answer, Blade Runner.
Yes, good, Blade Runner. He first became famous in Hollywood for this film, still the most popular Dutch film ever made, that shares its name with the candy that Edmund Penvisi obtained from the White Witch in Narnia.
It's chocolate.
It's like the kiss. I think it's the
Chocolate Kiss.
I don't.
We have your answer, The Kiss.
I'm sorry, Turkish Delight would have been that candy. And back to the toss-ups. In this novel, a copy of the Iliad is used to start a fire for the winter carnival at Devon School. The climax of this novel is the trial set up for the narrator by Brinkler Hadley, after which the victim, Finney, breaks his leg for a second time. Name this work of American fiction narrated by Gene Forrester and written by John Knowles. That's called A Separate Piece. People still meet near a bridge over Chicago's Jackson Park Lagoon once a year, hoping to see some evidence of the spirit of this late lawyer. Name this attorney, famed for defending the 1920s murderer Richard Loeb, and for defending Tennessee teacher John Scopes in the Scopes monkey trial, and to La Jolla.
Darrow?
Yes, Clarence Darrow. We'll go to math for your bonus. We'll use math symbols. The Greek letter theta often represents one of these quantities that can be measured in radians or degrees.
Angle. We have your answer, angle.
Yes, placing an exclamation mark after an integer applies this function to it, where the number and all integers below it are multiplied together.
We have your answer, factorial.
Yes. Putting a right arrow over a variable signifies the value is not scalar, but this quantity with both magnitude and direction.
We have your answer, vector.
Yes, and those are correct. Back to the toss-ups. His 2019 novel, Agent Running in the Field, is set in the present with a Russian-born man who laments the current state of British politics while working as a British spy. Name this British spy novelist, whose other works include Smiley's People, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and the classic The Spy Who Came in from the Cold. His name is John Le Carré. For either team, this object usually has a funnel installed on its bin floor to help remove material smoothly. Name this tall object, much larger than a bin, that is used by farmers to store to Cathedral.
Silo?
Yes, silo. For your bonus, give the collective name for this protein found in commonly eaten grains that cause intestinal troubles for some.
Oh, gluten. We have our answer, gluten?
Gluten is correct. Name the autoimmune disease whose sufferers should eat a gluten-free diet.
Celiacs. Okay, we have our answer, celiac
Yes.
disease?
The condition known as dermatitis hepatiformis is a result of a celiac disease flare-up that affects this organ of the body.
Skin, because it's like, yeah, derma skin.
Okay, we have our answer, the skin?
Yes, all are correct for 30 on the bonus. Toss up again. The Elder River in Germany became the border between this man's empire and that of Danish King Hemming by the Treaty of Heligen. That empire was created partially by this man seizing the land of his brother Carolman after Carolman died, and partly by conquering Italy to become king of the Lombards. What medieval king of the Franks was crowned emperor? And we go to La Jolla.
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne, yes. We're going to go to Pulitzer Prizes now. A, the South Florida Sun Sentinel won for newspaper coverage of a school shooting at this Florida high school.
Parkland.
Okay. We have our answer, Parkland.
No, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. David Blight won for his biography of this freed slave who wrote My Bondage and My Freedom.
Sojourner Truth?
No. It's... Try it. I don't know.
We have our answer, Sojourner Truth.
No, I'm sorry, Frederick Douglass would have been that answer.
He
This city's Post-Gazette newspaper won for its coverage of a shooting at its Tree of Life synagogue.
Tree of Life, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
We have our answer, Pittsburgh.
Yes, Pittsburgh. 10 on the bonus. Toss up again. Species of this animal includes the spinner, striped, and Amazon River. The English name of this mammal comes from the Greek for fish with a womb. To Cathedral.
Dolphin.
Yes, dolphin. For your bonus, name these semi-nomadic horsemen who inhabited the southern steppes and served in the Russian army.
Well, no, served in the Russian army.
Oh,
Cossacks or something?
just say it.
Can we have our answer, Cossacks?
Yes. Many Cossacks were involved in this colorful anti-Bolshevik force during the Russian Civil War.
The White Army? Okay, we have our answer, the White Army?
That's right. Cossack rebellion under Ivan Zarutsky was put down by this 17th century Tsar, the first of the Romanov dynasty.
Peter the Great? We have our answer, Ivan the Terrible?
No, I'm sorry. Mikhail or Michael Romanov would have been
Yeah, we
that
wouldn't have
answer.
gotten that.
For either team again now, a painting of him in a red jersey scoring a touchdown against a blue team, another of him playing poker with Ronald Reagan and Dwight Eisenhower, and a third of him to Cathedral.
Donald Trump.
Yes.
Nice.
Identify these animals defeated by Hercules during his labors. A, his first labor was to strangle the Neiman example of this animal with his bare hands because the animal's skin was weapon-proof. Hercules wore it from then on.
We have our answer, Lion?
Yes. Hercules was later told to capture this father of the Minotaur on the island of Crete.
Father of the Minotaur. Is it like Centaur, Chimera? We have our answer, Centaur?
No, I'm sorry, Cretan bull. Bull would have been
Cretan
the
bull.
answer.
That would have been
He then
smart.
was told to steal 4 of these animals belonging to the king, who were said to breathe fire and eat humans.
This is cows, right? Yeah. Or is it horses?
I think it's cows.
Okay, we have our answer, cows.
I'm sorry, it was horses.
Dang it.
That's okay. We'll go to the next toss-up for either team. Built in 1923 for $21,000 as a real estate ad, this object lost its last 4 letters, L, A, and D, to La Jolla.
Hollywood sign.
Yes. Answer these questions about electrons. An atom that either has more or fewer electrons that it should is called by this 3-letter term.
We have our answer, ion.
Yes. This antimatter particle is the same size as an electron, but its electric charge is the opposite of an electron's.
Yeah. We have our answer, positron.
That's right. And an uncharged atom of helium contains this number of electrons.
We have our answer, 2.
Good. All are correct. Large examples of this entity can experience the, quote, stadium effect that widens its center area. Reaching a strength of at least 12 on the Beaufort scale, its strength can also be measured from Category 1 to Category 5. And we go to Cathedral.
Hurricane.
Yes. Pencil and paper ready for your bonus. Y is inversely proportional to x and to the square of z. Including a proportionality constant k, give an equation relating to these three variables.
What the heck? I don't know. Do you guys know?
All we have is this one.
We have our answer x square root z.
I'm sorry, it's y equals k over xz squared. B, find k when y is 40, x is 50, and z is 10.
And y is what? 40x 50?
40 and Z is 10.
We have our answer 20.
Well, you were on the right track, 20,000. And your last one. Find y when k is 8, x is 0.1, and z is 40.
Do you want me to defer to you, Sinead? We have our answer. I defer to Sinead.
20.
No, I'm sorry. Y equals 0.05 on that one.
0 for 0.
Okay, for either team now. In this play, the protagonist cannot remember the 10 Commandments when interrogated. To La Jolla.
The Crucible.
Yes, the Crucible. For your bonus, the 1660s was a busy decade in Europe. In May 1660, Parliament declared this man King of England. 11 years after, parliamentary forces led by Oliver Cromwell had his father executed.
We answered Charles II.
Yes, in 1662, banks in this Swedish capital introduced the first modern banknotes.
Stockholm.
We have answered Stockholm.
Yes.
Okay.
In 1669, this
Dutch.
Italian made his first violin.
Stradivarius.
Yeah. We have answered Stradivarius.
Yes, all are correct. Our score is Cathedral Catholic 140, La Jolla 265, and we still have 14 minutes left. We'll continue with the next toss-up. As a mixed number in lowest terms, solve for a if a over 2.5 equals 1 2/3 over 5/16. That answer is 13 1/3. Next toss-up. A drastic change of career, obtaining new status symbols like sports cars, ending relationships, or having an affair are among... And we go to Cathedral Catholic.
Midlife crisis?
Yes. Answer these questions about the stories in Gulliver's Travels, please. After Gulliver visits this civilization of giants, the box they made for Gulliver is grabbed by an eagle who drops it into the ocean where sailors can pick him up.
Okay, we have our answer. I defer to Daniel.
Lilliput.
No, I'm sorry. Broadening.
Oh.
Next one, Gulliver visits the islands of Laputa. He discovers the island can do this, which most islands cannot do.
Grow. I feel like it's grow or is it shrink?
Let's go with grow.
We have our answer grow.
Actually, it was fly. The last one, Gulliver likes the intelligent horses in one land, but not these human-like creatures who also live there.
I never.
We have our answer centaur.
Yahoos for those. For either team, he was the first United States president to release his income tax return while still alive. In 1952, he nearly lost his political career over a secret slush fund. To La Jolla.
Nixon.
Yes. For your bonus, the performance of this piece caused a 3-hour traffic jam on London Bridge in 1749. Name this work, whose third and fourth movements are Le Pas and Le Rejoici.
No, it's water music.
It's one music.
We have answered water music.
No, I'm sorry. Music for Royal Fireworks would have been that answer. It was written by this German composer of the oratorio Messiah.
We have answered Handel.
Yes. Since the time of George II, Handel's Zedek the Priest has been played at every one of these events in Britain, partially because the piece mentions this event in King Solomon's life.
Coronation, I think so. We have answered coronation.
Coronation,
Yeah.
yes, good. To the toss-ups. Its title character meets a king, a drunkard, a lamplighter, and a geographer, all of whom live alone and are consumed by their occupations. In this novella, the author draws a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. And to La Jolla.
The Little Prince.
Yes.
Good job,
Answer
Andrew.
these about New Year's celebrations in different cultures, please. This holiday marks the Jewish New Year.
It's not Yom Kippur. That's Rosh Hashanah. It's Rosh Hashanah. We have our answer Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah.
Yom Kippur is like
The New Year holiday Nowruz is celebrated during the spring equinox in this country despite the arrival of Islam there.
India.
spring equinox.
Iran.
We have our answer Iraq.
Iran would have been that answer. During this holiday in January 2020, the Year of the Rat is celebrated.
Chinese New Year. Lunar New Year, whenever. It's Chinese New Year. They're the
We
same.
have our answer Chinese New
Yes,
Year.
we better get that right. Good. For either team, pencil and paper ready. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to take a brief timeout and we'll be right back. We're back after a brief timeout. Our score is La Jolla 325, Cathedral 150. There's been a substitution here at Cathedral. Team Captain Luke, will you tell us who's just come on board?
Yeah, we have Ivan in for Ryan. He is a junior.
We welcome you, Ivan, and we'll start the clock with more than 10 minutes still left. You might need a pencil and paper for this math problem. Convert 5 pi over 6 radians to degrees. Right away to La Jolla.
150 degrees.
That's right, 150. For your bonus, name the metal that is the biggest component of each of these ores. A, bauxite.
Copper.
Okay. We have our answer copper.
I'm sorry, aluminum. B, manganite. Magnetite?
What? We have our answer manganese.
No, iron. Next, malachite.
Okay. Dark elves.
We have our answer nickel.
No, now it was copper. Thank you. For either
got
team,
Dark elves.
Anton Syndrome is an extremely rare syndrome affecting this part of the brain that is contained mostly in Brodmann area 18. This lobe is the smallest of the 4 major lobes of the brain and is also the rearmost lobe when looking straight. And we go to Cathedral.
Occipital lobe?
Yes, that's right.
Wait.
For your
Ivan.
bonus, answer these about
Ivan.
screws.
Okay.
Time out, please. We're back after a brief technical timeout, and our score is 335. La Jolla 150 Cathedral. We'll start the clock and continue with the next toss-up. Historical rituals of its people include the now fading tradition of a young man killing a lion in order to come of age, as well as a young man jumping higher than their peers. Cathedral.
Masai.
Yes, Messiah. For your bonus, answer these about figures in mythology. A golden apple thrown by Eris, the goddess of discord, sparked an argument between Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite that set off this conflict.
Oh, it's the Trojan War, right? Yeah. Okay, we have our answer, the Trojan War.
Yes. The Fimbulwinter and the swallowing of the sun and moon by 2 wolves were two parts of this Norse end of the world caused by Loki's murder of Balder.
We have our answer, Ragnarok.
Yes. Zeus finally threw this serpent-like monster with multiple heads who fathered the
Hydra.
3-headed dog, Cerberus, into Tartarus.
Hydra.
Yeah, Hydra sounds right.
We have our answer, Hydra.
Typhon. Would have been
Typhon.
that one.
Yeah.
Back to the toss-ups. In the Gospel of John, while Jesus was on the cross, he told John to take care of what woman to Cathedral Catholic?
Mary.
Yes. For your bonus, consider the equation x squared over 4 minus y squared over 9 equals 1. A, what type of conic section results
Circle.
when graphed?
Circle, right?
Yep.
We have our answer, circle.
Hyperbola?
Wait.
Oh.
What? Oh wait.
Rip.
Give
Going
the
too
2
fast.
points where the hyperbola crosses the x-axis, please.
I feel like it's probably 2 and 2. Negative 2 and 2? Or?
Yeah, that.
We have our answer, negative 2 and 2.
Yes, that is correct. In square root form, how far is each focus from the center point of the hyperbola?
How far is each center point from the focus of the hyperbola? We have our answer, square root 2.
Square root 13 would have been that answer. Thank you. Toss-up social studies. Originally named Araminta, she was a spy for the Union Army in South Carolina and helped with the raid there on Combahee Ferry, nicknamed Moses by the abolitionists. And we go to La Jolla.
Harriet Tubman.
Yes. Name these scientists involved in the modeling of DNA. A, he wrote the autobiography The Double Helix and auctioned off his Nobel medal when he needed money.
Who's the guy who just got stripped for being racist? think that was Crick, so I'm going to say Watson.
Yeah.
We have our answer Watson.
Yes. This British co-discoverer with Watson is best known for his central dogma that says roughly DNA makes RNA and RNA makes protein.
Crick. The racist one. We have our answer Crick.
Crick is right. Her X-ray crystallography on DNA aided Watson and Crick's discoveries. The X-rays were a factor in her terminal ovarian cancer.
We have our answer Rosalind Franklin.
Yes, perfect for that. Otto Salinas is in the Evelyn Waugh novel Decline and Fall. Seth Pecksniff in Charles Dickens' novel Martin Chuzzlewit, and Howard Rourke in Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead all have what artistic profession that involves them in the creation of tall and beautiful buildings? Tula Hoya.
Architect.
Yes. Identify these types of abuse from their examples. Slapping someone across the face hard enough to leave a mark.
What was it?
That's the name.
Physical.
Physical.
Domestic abuse.
Physical.
We have our answer physical.
Physical, yes. Calling someone terrible, evil, or stupid.
Verbal.
We have our answer verbal.
Emotional would have been that. Manipulating someone into questioning their own sanity.
It's not gaslighting.
Gasoline.
Psychological. We have our answer psychological.
That or mental would work, yes. Good.
Good
For either team, her films like Tea for Two and Lullaby of Broadway came before her role as Babe in The Pajama Game and her Alfred Hitchcock film where she sang her signature tune, Que Sera Sera. Can you name this blonde singer and actress who passed away and Cathedral?
Rosemary Clooney.
No, I'm sorry, and I'll continue. Passed away in 2019 at the age of 97 after a lifetime of entertainment and animal rights activism. No answer. Doris Day was her name. Doris Day. The tower named for him was built near Egbert's Stone, where he rallied his troops at the Battle of Edington and defeated the heathen army of Guthrum. He compiled a census and legal code called the Doom Book. Name this... La Jolla, please.
William the Conqueror.
No, I'm sorry. Name this medieval great king of Wessex who created the Danelaw area of northern England where Danish law governed the people. His name is Alfred the Great. This type of pronoun is used in the sentence, "This has been a difficult year." What type of pronoun to Cathedral?
Demonstrative.
Yes, good. Answer these about books written by Teddy Roosevelt for your bonus, please. In 1891, he wrote a history of this city where he was born.
New York. Okay, we have our answer, New York.
That's right. In 1910, he wrote about game trials he used on this continent to shoot wild animals.
Africa, yeah. We have our answer, Africa.
Yes. In 1914, he wrote about this wilderness experience in this South American country.
Oh, experience. Is it in Panama? Maybe? We have our answer, Panama.
No, I'm sorry, Brazil would have been that
there you
answer.
go.
So 20 on the bonus.
Oh, well, that's in Central America. I'm done.
The standard molar measurement of this parameter is usually largest for gases, less for liquids, and smallest for solids because molecules in solids are generally less disordered. Name this to La Jolla.
Entropy.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Name these Asian countries whose capitals include A. Yerevan. Yes.
Oman.
We have our answer. I defer to Andrew.
Oman.
Actually, Armenia.
Okay.
Doha.
Kazakhstan. It's wonderful. We have our answer, Kazakhstan.
Qatar. And the last one, Venetian.
We have our answer, Kazakhstan.
Laos would have been that answer. Our next toss-up may require a pencil. Give the measure of the largest angle of a quadrilateral whose angles are x minus 4, 2x minus 5, 3x plus 4, and 4x minus 5. To La Jolla.
139.
No, I'm sorry. No answer? 143 would have been that answer. For either team now, considered a museum of the city of Paris. Only 200 people can be in it at a time, entered by going down 131 La Jolla.
The catacombs?
Yes. Your bonus is concerning rabbits. The 11 breeds with this word in their name are all raised for their very soft fur that is regularly shorn.
Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds right. We have answer velvet.
No, actually, those are called Angora rabbits. Next, this species, white fur and black spots, give it the same name as a popular dog breed.
Dalmatian. Probably. Should we?
We have answer Dalmatian.
Yes.
Nice.
Rabbits with very long ears that can drag on the ground are called by
Rabbit.
some version of this three-letter term.
Never mind.
Floppy ear. No, because it's 3 letters. Big the cat. Don't remember this.
We have answer big.
Lop would have been that answer. Back to the toss-ups. Besides rhythmic gymnastics, this is the only Olympic sport to be restricted to women. La Jolla.
Synchronized swimming?
Yes. For your bonus, the recent National Geographic series Genius followed the life of Pablo Picasso. This cubist work shows the monk and Harlequin and Perriot holding instruments in front of a brown background.
No, it's not his blue period. It's not blue period. Oh my god, I don't remember it. No.
We have answer Les Demoiselles d'Avignon.
3 musicians is what it's called. The African period shows 5 nude women and a basket of fruit.
I'll defer. I defer to Caleb.
Les Demoiselles d'Avignon.
Perfect. I'm glad you said it. One of the Picasso's blue period works shows a sad woman with a glass of this green liquor made from wormwood.
No. Rum.
We have answer Martina.
I'm sorry, absinthe. The absinthe drinker. Thank you to both teams, and we'll turn it over to Clark.
And that is the match. You know, every time there's a new match, there are questions I keep thinking, where did they get some of these questions? This match, I think, will be remembered as one where we heard that favorite phrase for everybody, get paper and pencil ready because you might need it for the next question. We could have just said that at the top of the match, perhaps. Anyway, well done by both teams. La Jolla, you are tough to beat, as always. I think some of it has to do with the luck of the draw and what some of the questions are. Also, a fraction of a second to ring in. And that's why we get a final score of La Jolla 445 and Cathedral Catholic 225. Well played by everyone. Thank you for watching. Join us again next time for more Academic League right here on ITV. Students.